We all think that to get massive results, we need to take a massive action, right? Some huge, life-changing event. Well, today, we're diving into James Clear's Atomic Habits, a book that flips that idea on its head. It shows how the tiniest changes can lead to absolutely remarkable results. And the story starts with a single, terrifying moment.
Just picture this. You're a talented high school athlete, top of your game, and then in a split second, a baseball bat smacks you right in the face. That's exactly what happened to James Clear. We're talking a shattered eye socket, seizures, a medically induced coma, a truly devastating injury. For most, that could have been the end of the story. But for him, it was just the beginning.
Because if you fast forward just 6 years, something incredible has happened. The same person who was fighting for his life in a coma is now being named to the ESPN Academic All-America team. That's one of only 33 players in the entire country. So you have to ask, how on earth is a comeback like that even possible? Well, it wasn't some miracle. It was the power of a very simple, very profound idea.
And that big idea is this. What if, instead of trying to do something amazing all at once, you just focused on getting 1% better every single day? It sounds so small, right? Almost insignificant. But when you actually run the numbers, you realize it's one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Okay, check out this math because it's genuinely wild. If you get just 1% better each day for a year, you end up nearly 38 times better than when you started. But look at the flip side. If you get 1% worse each day, you decline to almost nothing. It's the compound interest of self-improvement, and it shows that our small daily choices matter way more than we think. I think we've all been there, right? You're working hard, you're trying to get better, but you just don't see any results, and it's so frustrating. But this quote about the stonecutter just nails it. Progress isn't always visible. The first 100 hits on that rock might look like they did nothing, but they were absolutely essential for that final breakthrough moment. So, if we want to get that stonecutter effect working for us, we first have to understand the machine that runs it all, our habits. And it turns out every single habit you have, good or bad, follows the exact same simple 4-step pattern in your brain. Let's just take your morning coffee as an example. The cue, waking up. The craving, that feeling of being alert and ready to go. The response, you get up, brew the coffee, and drink it. And the reward, boom, that satisfying jolt of caffeine that tells your brain, hey, let's do that again tomorrow. This little loop, cue, craving, response, reward, is the engine behind everything we do automatically. So now that we know the blueprint, we can actually start to be engineers of our own habits instead of just passengers. And Clear gives us this amazing practical toolkit to do it, which he calls the 4 laws of behavior change. The very first law targets that first step, the cue. And the idea is just brilliantly simple. If you want to build a good habit, you have to make the trigger for it so obvious that you can't miss it. And this quote right here is the key. We tend to think our habits are all about motivation and willpower, but honestly, our environment is pulling the strings way more than we realize. The things we see and the spaces we're in are constantly triggering our next move. So how do you take back control? You redesign your environment. You want to eat healthier? Don't hide the fruit in the bottom of the fridge. Put it in a bowl right on the counter. You want to read more? Put a book on your pillow. And for bad habits, you do the opposite. You make the cues invisible. The easiest way to stop eating junk food is to just not have it in the house in the first place. Okay, on to the second law, which is all about the craving. This one's called make it attractive. Because let's be real, if a habit feels like a chore, your brain is going to find a million reasons not to do it. We have to want to do it. And it turns out, one of the most powerful forces of attraction for us humans is our deep, deep desire to belong. We are wired to do what the people around us are doing. It's just how we're built. So how can we use this? Well, one really clever strategy is something called temptation bundling. You pair something you want to do with something you need to do. For example, maybe you only let yourself listen to your favorite podcast while you're at the gym. Or even better, join a group, a running club, a book club, where the habit you want is just the normal everyday culture. It makes it so much more attractive. All right, law number 3 is a big one. It's make it easy. And this is where so many of us stumble. We get all motivated, we try to do too much, too soon, and then we inevitably burn out. The secret is to reduce the friction. And the ultimate tool for this is the 2-minute rule. The concept is so simple. Whatever new habit you want to start,
scale it down until it takes less than 2 minutes to do. So read 30 minutes every night becomes read 1 page. Go to the gym becomes put on your workout clothes. The point isn't the outcome. It's to master the art of just showing up. So it all comes down to friction. For your good habits, you want to make them as frictionless as possible. And for bad habits, you want to do the exact opposite. You want to add as much friction as you can. If you have to walk to another room to get your phone, you're a lot less likely to mindlessly scroll.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the fourth law. Make it satisfying. This is all about the reward. It's what closes the loop and tells your brain, hey, that was good. Let's do it again. If a habit isn't satisfying, it's not going to stick.
But here's the fundamental challenge we're all up against. Our brains are wired for instant gratification. The pleasure from eating junk food is immediate. The pain of it comes later. The pain of going to the gym is immediate. The reward? That takes weeks or months to see. This mismatch is why bad habits are so easy to form and good ones are so hard.
So, the solution is we have to find a way to feel successful right now. A habit tracker is an amazing way to do this. Just getting to check that box off every day is a little hit of satisfaction. Or try this. Every time you skip that morning latte you're trying to cut back on, immediately transfer the $5 into a savings account for a vacation. You make the reward for your good choice immediate. Okay, so those 4 laws, make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, that's the practical toolkit. And it's incredibly powerful. But there's one more layer to this book that really ties it all together, and it's a profound shift in thinking. The real goal of habits isn't just about what you get, it's about who you become. See, most of us set goals based on outcomes. We say, I want to run a marathon or I want to write a novel. But Clear suggests a much more powerful approach is to focus on your identity. The goal isn't to run a marathon, it's to become a runner. The goal isn't to write a book, it's to become a writer. It's a small change in words, but it's a huge change in mindset.
This, right here, is the heart of it all. True, lasting behavior change is really identity change. Every time you go for a run, you are casting a vote for the identity of runner. Every time you sit down and write one sentence, you're casting a vote for writer. Your habits are what build and reinforce the person you believe you are.
So I'll leave you with this. The question isn't just, what do you want to achieve? The real question is, who do you wish to become? And what is the smallest, most atomic habit you can start today to cast the first vote for that new identity?